Hello and happy Metta Monday. I brought my production assistant Molly into today's video. She's not feeling 100% today. She's been a little bit subdued, and I think it's just something she ate. She likes to eat dead things along our walks or goose poop or just something gross. I think we're coming out of the woods, but I just thought it'd be nice for you guys to see her and send her a little love, and she can send you some. She's like a giant heart in a little 21-pound package. But yeah, for today's Metta Monday offering, I wanted to continue on with what I spoke about last week around how to sit with your suffering, how to sit with your shit. And I reviewed a very simple yin posture that when you just tune into your experience with a little bit of activation and stress on the connective tissue, it can move quite a bit of energy. Also, how to meditate, or at least how to find a good posture for meditation. And today I wanted to share an acronym from my book, Faith Underwater. I have an announcement about that in a little while, about the book and how I'm going to release it. But the acronym that I've come up with is SNAP. And so this is an acronym for sitting with challenging emotions. And I just want to name that challenging emotions are going to come up more now that we're stuck at home. Everything's different. We're either home alone or we're home with the same people all the time, and each have their own special degree of difficulty that come with that. And so big feelings are going to come up. All of the things that used to distract us from our suffering are kind of taken away right now. And so, our human tendency, especially in Western culture, is to turn away from uncomfortable feelings. Like I said last week, we all find ourselves saying, don't feel bad, don't feel guilty, don't feel sad. I even said, don't feel guilty last week. And it's a natural thing that we do. It's wired in to push suffering away. It's wrapped up in the Four Noble Truths of, the cause of suffering is attachment. And one form of attachment is the pushing away of suffering. So I want to name, before I jump into describing what SNAP stands for and what it means and how to, sit with your discomfort, that what you're doing is against what you've been doing historically, probably. If you're a typical human, you've probably been ignoring uncomfortable emotion. So turning toward it is a really brave and gutsy thing to do. So I want to honor that if you're going to try this out, good for you. It's not easy, and just want to send you extra compassion. So SNAP stands for stop and name and ask and provide. So what I mean by stop is if you're feeling a big wave of emotion, you have the opportunity to just stop and turn toward the feeling. Like I was saying, it's this moment of turning toward what you're feeling that's uncomfortable is against a lot of human habitual patterns and are against human tendency of averting away from suffering. So stopping and turning toward what's uncomfortable is, it can be challenging. So really bring in a lot of compassion for this step. And part of what you're doing as you turn toward what you're uncomfortable with is you're studying it. And so that brings you to the N of SNAP, name. So you name what the feeling is. So it could be, this is anxiety. Instead of I am anxious, can you create a little bit of space and say, this is anxiety, this is anger, this is sadness, this is grief. So this process requires that you really slow down and observe what's happening within you. And the benefit of this is when you can name it, you're no longer in it, you're with it, which I talk about a lot of, the difference between, empathy and compassion is you can be with it instead of just being blended in it. And then once you name what the feeling is, the feeling state, you ask what it needs. So if it's anxiety, it might just be, I need to feel safe right now. I need to take a walk. I need to get grounded. I need to, reach out to somebody else because what I'm doing for myself isn't working. So you ask what it needs and you really listen for the response, because there are so many parts within us, and the part that is the noisiest is making noise, because there's an unmet need. In the same way that a child, goes to a parent upset or a caregiver, because there's an unmet need that they can meet. We can sometimes meet some of our own needs if we slow down and ask. And P is provide. Provide the unmet need, like provide whatever is being asked for. And again, this could be taking the walk. It could be reaching out to a friend or a therapist. So what the thing is that you provide is going to be highly individual and based upon whatever comes up. So it's really just allowing whatever is happening to be, to study it. And again, the acronym is SNAP, stop. Name what's happening, name the feeling, ask what that part of you needs, and it could be a very young part. So just really slow down and study it, and then provide it. So I hope this little acronym for dealing with big emotions is supportive to you. And I mentioned that I had an announcement about my book. I've hit a delay with producing the whole thing just because of this whole chaos that we've been in, but I am realizing how important the first 3 chapters on suffering are. So I have the spiritual perspectives on suffering, understanding suffering, the science of it, and then moving through it. So the SNAP acronym is from that 3rd chapter on moving through suffering. So I'm in the process of getting the 3 chapters cleaned up enough and designed and just shared on my website, and on like super like sliding scale, like $1. And if you really need it and have no money, you can email me and I can send it to you. I think that what I've been thinking about and writing about for years is especially of service right now. So I'm accelerating this part of my book, and right behind it will be the healing map, because I think we're going to have a lot of healing in place that we have the opportunity to do with this slowing down that we're experiencing in our daily lives. So that's all I have so far, and that's what I have for today. So thank you for saying hi to Moo, and I hope you guys have a beautiful and skillful day.